Good day to you and thank you for visiting Algebra Notes Made Simpler. Today we're going to visit the X and Y intercept. Two very simple directions. To find the Y-intercept, we would we are asking what would a line intercept the y-axis if you set x to 0. And to find the x-intercept, we are asking where would a line intercept the x-axis if we set y to 0. So we're going to remember when we're dealing with graphs our quadrants. We must be able to name our quadrants quickly. We do know the top right quadrant is quadrant 1. Top left quadrant is quadrant 2. Bottom left quadrant is quadrant 3. And the bottom right quadrant is quadrant 4. What we know about quadrant 1, the y is positive and the x is positive. So we have positive, positive for quadrant 1. Quadrant 2, the y is positive, but the x is negative. Quadrant 2, we have negative for x and positive for y. Quadrant 3, the x is negative and the y is negative. So for quadrant 3, they're negative and negative. Quadrant 4, we have the x is positive, but the y is negative. Quadrant 4, we have positive and negative. So with that being said, let's practice this equation here. 2x minus 3y equals 6. You must when you get ready to graph, you have to make you a chart here for your x values and what they will make the y values become. So if we make the x 0, what is y? Let's plug that in and see what happened. 2 times 0 minus 3y equals 6. Here's your 2 times 0 minus 3y equals 6. 2 times 0 comes off. Bring down the negative 3y equals 6. Have to divide off the coefficient from the variable. Negative 3y divided by negative 3 is a positive y. And 6 divided by negative 3 is a negative 2. So when x is 0, y is negative 2. Let's plot that right here. Okay. Now, let's see what it is when y is 0. 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. Now, the 3 times 0 goes away. Bring down the 2x equals 6. Divide off the coefficient from the variable. 2x divided by 2 is x. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So when y is 0, x is 3. And there's our point for when y is 0, x is 3. When y is 0, we are putting a dot on the x line. When x is 0, we are putting a dot on the y line. Now, when x is 1, y is negative 4/3. That's the same as 1 and 1/3. Do we see that in the line? Yes, just past the 1 before 2. This is your negative 1/3 on the y. Also, when x is 2, y is negative 2/3. Is that correct with your line? Yes, we're at the x on 2 here. And as we can see, the line is going between 1 and 2. So yes, that's your 2/3 right there. So as we could clearly see, this is the correct line for 2x minus 3y equals 6. Now, as I've always said, practice, practice, practice is a must when you want that 90% on your math exams, whether it be algebra, geometry, or calculus. The key to getting that 90% or better on those exams is practice. That is why they give you so many equations in homework and so many equations on your exam, because it's not a matter of learning the directions. It's once you've learned the directions, you must practice to get faster at completing your equations with 90% or better accuracy, and that is only done by practice. So you practice by pulling up as many equations as you can. You can copy and paste these that I have. You can go online and pull those that you like. Please challenge yourself. Get those that have parentheses in them and fractions so you can get used to how you must move the terms around before you solve them. And it gives you better practice on remembering all the directions necessary in order to solve them correctly. So for now, we are only going to do number 3, but as I said, challenge yourself and gather more equations. So with that being said, number 3 is 72 plus 8y equals negative 9x. Now, when we have to when we have to plot our points for x-intercept and y-intercept, it is good to put our variables on one side and our coefficients on the other side so we can quickly go through plotting different points. So let's do that first. The coefficient go to the other side, so let's cancel it off this side. If we do it over there, we must do it on this side of the equation of the equal sign as well. So the 72's cancel out, bring down the 8. Y equals not negative 9x minus 72. Now I'm bringing the 9x to the other side there. We do that by taking this opposite. Positive 9x, positive 9x, okay? Our new equation is 9x plus 8y equals negative 72. Now we can do our plots. We have x on this side, we have y on that side. Now, let's see. When x is 0, what will y be? So we have 9 times 0, put parentheses around that because that's a multiplication problem, plus 8y equals negative 72. 9 times 0 comes off, 8y equals negative 72. Divide off the 8 from the variable, divide it off over here on the negative 72. Y equals a negative 9. So when x is 0, y is negative 9. Let's plot that. If x is 0, y is a negative 9, which is right here. Okay, and when y is 0, what is x? Let's see. Let's see when y is 0, what is x? So let's do that there. This is our equation in proper form to help us plot our points. So the next one is we're going to do y as 0. So we have 9x plus 8 times 0 equals negative 72. And 8 times 0 is in multiplication, so put parentheses around it. 9x, 8 times 0 is 0, so that goes off. 9x equals negative 72. Divide the 9 off of the variable, divide it off of the negative 72. That make x equals a negative 8. So when y is 0, x is a negative 8, which is right here. So, as we can clearly see, I am going to try and use my tools here to do somewhat of a straight line for you. But as we can see here, the line is basically going that way. Okay, that is our line for when x is 0, y is a negative 9, and when y is 0, x is a negative 8. Okay, that is our equation. It was rather simple to do, even though it looked kind of funny and complicated. So that is our line for there. Now, we must remember, we must practice in order to get our grade up to 90% or better. Do those equations over and over again so you can get used to the different ways to change the terms around in order to get the correct y-intercept, okay? I thank you very much for visiting Algebra Notes Made Simpler, and I hope to see you in the next video. You have a good day.